Hello Wildflowers, and welcome back to The Rambling Rose. If you're new to this channel, g'day! I'm Nancy, an Australian artist, author and cottage witch. In this episode, we'll be exploring the art of frugal hedonism, having a glimpse at what an Australian Christmas feels like, and making some magical handmade gifts for the holiday season that cost next to nothing. So sit back, relax and enjoy this little film, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you're loving this channel. Summer has arrived here in Australia and the days are getting warmer and longer in my sleepy little valley. Each morning I wake to the sound of magpies, fairy wrens and bowerbirds, happily chirping as the first rays of the sun spill out across the mountains. It's easy to forget the outside world here sometimes, and to be honest, I prefer to do so. A handful of friends and I refer to this town as the Shire sometimes, and I certainly feel like a half-foot at heart, wandering barefoot in my garden, searching for berries, talking to fairies and following dragonflies along forest trails. But adopting a slower pace and opting out of the modern world requires some adjustments, and as the holiday season draws near, I'm reminded that one of those is developing the practice of frugal hedonism. Simply put, it is the art of spending less while enjoying everything more. Instead of trading your time and energy for money, ending up stressed and exhausted with very little time to enjoy life, you can take back those precious hours and get creative with what you already have, rediscovering the amount of free and low-cost resources around you. When we begin to recognise that the myth of more is not in the best interest of human biology, we can slowly start to say no to the cult of consumerism and yes to the abundance of the natural world and to the generosity of loving, conscious community. We can slow down, heal our tired, tender bodies and focus on what we truly need to be happy. With a global recession looming, it seems many of us are tightening our purse strings even more this Christmas. And so I thought I'd share some ideas for delightful handmade gifts that you can make with materials found around the home, in the garden, or at your local thrift store. Here in the Shire, our local thrift store is better known as the Op Shop, and every dollar you spend here goes back to our local hospital. You can find almost everything you need for Christmas here, including greeting cards, crackers, beautiful embroidered linens, and even a Christmas tree and baubles. There's so many cute cottagecore finds here too, and most items are under $2. One lovely op shopper even found this adorable vintage toy for under $5. I'm sure her little boy will be so happy to unwrap that on Christmas Day. So, my first handmade gift idea is for the arty witches out there. Whether you are a painter like me, a photographer, or gifted with another creative talent, I thought to myself, what could be more special than a sweet pet portrait? Pets are our beautiful furry family and our loyal familiars, so I decided to gift one dear friend a painting of her beloved cat Forrest. I will share a photo of Forrest on Patreon so you can see how I did capturing his likeness. But first, it's off to the water tank to fill up a jar with fresh rainwater to make the painting extra enchanted, and then up the ladder past the wise old owl to the art loft to get started. The most important part was to get Forrest's big, beautiful green eyes just right, and his fluffy ears too. So with a photo beside me, I started sketching, adding in all the precious little details. I couldn't resist adding some magic mushrooms amongst the curly fern fronds and other leafy elements of the woods. And with a name like Forest, I had to use my favourite background colour, deep forest green. He's got me looking quite beige. Me deep in the haze. There's no more compassion, no. Raise me. I need something fast. I need something to last and give satisfaction. It was so important to get his pinkish orange nose just right, and of course his beautiful big cat eyes. He's definitely nailed the winged eyeliner, don't you think? I also wanted to include these ferns, so I took my time getting the fronds just right and filling in all the leafy details in the background. I don't think I'll ever tire of painting leafy forest scenes. I really could do it all day, and I do. Painting up here in summer is thirsty work, so after a quick drink of water, I'm going to take a break and pop down to the op shop to find a frame. A little tip, choose your frame first, because when I went down after already measuring up and painting my pet portrait, I couldn't find a frame and mount that fit perfectly. But no problem, I measured it up, cut the mount to the correct shape, and then repainted it in a lovely woodland brown colour. After putting the finishing touches on the magic mushrooms, the pet portrait is complete. And I'm pretty happy with him and think he's quite cute, don't you? Now, if you're not an arty witch like me and you think perhaps this might be a little too advanced, you can always hop onto my online store and book a pet portrait in or purchase a gift voucher. Voila! Forrest the fluffy kitty cat is complete. How adorable! I feel like this is such a special gift and I really hope my friend loves it. My second thrifty gift idea is for all the skilled seamstress witches. It's an easy little sewing project, whether by hand or machine. And you know, even my sewing machine and kit are totally thrifted. Since it's high summer, the rose garden I shared with you in the last episode is in full bloom, so we'll be using the petals to create a heavenly scented charm bag with a pinch of glamour magic. I'll need to dry these petals first, but don't worry, I have some dried ones saved up from last season. Let's quickly convert the art loft into a sewing room. Done! Do you recall this fabric from my Sweet Beltane episode? It's the extra material from a dress I hemmed, and it'll be the perfect frugal fabric choice, along with some ribbon from this mixed bag I found at the op shop. It was only $2 for all this ribbon. How delightfully frugal is that? So I'll search through for the perfect colour to match my rosy pink fabric. I think this watermelon pink looks pretty nice. Now, I only took up sewing again recently, and in true Rambling Rose style, I totally winged it with this pattern. I made quite a few mistakes, which is no surprise when you don't even measure first. But I promised to write it up perfectly for my wild roses on Patreon, so you don't have that feeling of ridiculousness when you realise it's all inside out and upside down. In the end, I was still pretty happy with the result, and now that I have my perfectly imperfect little pouch ready, it's time to fill it with some dried rose petals. The scent is already so dreamy. I also added in a couple of tiny rose quartz tumbles to really enhance the glamour magic with its love-attracting properties. Tie it up in a bow and it's ready to gift. As you are sewing, you can whisper a short and sweet glamour spell over the fabric and thread so that wherever this bag is placed, be it in your lingerie drawer or closet, it will enchant the surrounding clothing, making the wearer appear more gorgeous and irresistible than ever. My third homemade gift idea is for the kitchen witches, using any ingredients you have on hand to make a yummy edible gift. Now, I've got peppermint growing every which way in my garden this summer, even underneath my steps. Let's give them a quick sweep on the way to the herb garden, shall we? I thought I'd use this voracious peppermint along with some other ingredients in my pantry to make Choc mint truffles. I'll pop the truffles in a gorgeous tin from, you guessed it, the op shop, and I think they'll make a lovely gift. I'll upload the full recipe as a printable PDF to Patreon, but it's basically a whole bunch of raw vegan ingredients such as cacao powder and dates that I'm going to process together, along with a pinch of fresh peppermint from the garden, into some scrumptious bite-sized delights. The best part about this recipe is getting chocolate all over your hands and licking it off later. Once you've finished rolling the little truffles, pop them in the fridge to cool down. This sweet little tin was a thrift store find that I am so pleased with. It has a cute vintage botanical illustration on it, so it's the perfect gift for any green witch. Once the truffles are cooled, you can roll them again just to make sure they're perfectly smooth and pop them in the tin. If you're lucky, there'll be one or two left over. My fourth frugal gift idea is for the green thumbs, the garden fairies that just have a gift with plants, and it all started with a cutting from this beautiful spotted begonia. So, with an old painted pot that I previously repurposed, I thought I'd make a miniature fairy garden with the cutting. I've left it sitting in a bottle of water on a windowsill for a week or so until it developed some beautiful, strong, healthy roots. Plants like this are so hardy and well suited to growing from cuttings. They take root in a variety of conditions and require very little to thrive. Once the roots have formed, you simply pop it in some good quality potting mix and fill it to the top with soil, gently patting the soil down until it's all snug as a bug. Even this soil is recycled from a ranunculus bulb that had finished for the season. Once the little spotty guy is tucked into bed, we'll give him a good drink of rainwater from the water tank, really saturating those baby roots. And don't forget to whisper sweet nothings to any new plant. Next, I want to grab some pebbles from my terribly weedy driveway to decorate the top of the pot. I'm going to grab a few handfuls of these white pebbles just to make the pot look a little more fancy. Next, I'll pop in a few crystals and these cute glass mushrooms that my auntie made to make it look like a real fairy garden. Don't forget a plate for the bottom of the pot to catch any excess water. I think it looks rather cute already, don't you? With my own gift wrap and some more thrifted ribbon in a charming bow, this gift costs next to nothing, and I feel like any garden fairy would adore it. My final thrifty gift idea is for the green witches, the lovers of potions and lotions, and it uses another ingredient that's growing in abundance this summer, calendula. This magical flower stimulates collagen production and will make your skin so youthful and bright. Along with some other ingredients in my home apothecary, we'll be making some luscious sugar scrub bars for radiant, glowing skin. I think they look like the golden sun itself, don't you? Beaming away in the garden, looking so cheerful. Once again, this recipe will be shared in detail with my wild roses on Patreon later this week, but they are quick and easy to make and cost next to nothing. You'll be surprised what you can find around your home to put in these bars. For example, this is just coconut oil, calendula petals, and a little beeswax I scrounged up. But you can make this same recipe with just about anything you find around the house and garden. Rose petals, lemon, peppermint, coffee grounds. Just be creative and think about what beautifying or magical properties you'd like to share with your loved ones. I also added a few drops of orange essential oil to make these bars smell extra yummy. Before pouring in the sugar scrub mixture, sprinkle some petals in the base of the moulds. Try to keep the mixture warm during this step if you can, as it cools down fast. Once you've poured the mixture into the moulds, place them in the freezer for a spell so they'll pop out easily. I must say, when I popped the bars out, I was so delighted. They look so pretty, and I'm looking forward to setting aside a few of these for myself this summer. I'm hoping the Calendula fairies will bless me with golden, glowing summer skin. To make them look extra gifty, I wrap them up, bonbon style, in greaseproof paper, and with my trusty bag of thrift store ribbon, searched for the perfect colour. I was really hoping to find a golden, orange, yellow ribbon, but I think this olive green will look just as nice. Gosh, I think this bag of ribbon might just last me forever. I think there's something so special about handmade gifts. Knowing that you spent your time and put so much love into creating them just makes them that little bit more magical, don't you think? Tie a nice neat bow around your bonbon, and there we have it, a lush sugar scrub bar filled with summer herbs and anti-aging goodness. I so hope you enjoyed some of these ideas for handmade gifts, and I would love to hear in the comments section below how you went with your gift making this season.
I'm a traveling spirit, I've seen many shores, from the West Pacific to the island of Kenya.
As always, if you've enjoyed this film, you can join me over on Patreon, where I've just launched a new Discord server where you can connect with me and other kindred spirits, or visit my online store to purchase art, oracle cards, gift vouchers and more.
Leave me stranded, I know how to handle it on my own. On my own.
All my love until we meet again, sweet souls, somewhere over the rainbow and in the rose garden.